sit. I always have her sit first before I send her to the mat. And then with my right hand, I'll lean down, pat her chest and say, go to your mat, down. I walk over with her and I say down. She's going to go down. And then I just do some simple, good, rewarding, like stepping back. You can stand back a good 8 feet because this is a 6-foot leash. And then step forward, stand over her. Good. Put her on the mat. Make sure she waits until you put the reward on the mat and withdraw before she takes it off the mat. You don't want her taking it out of your hands or being excited, overstimulated, and grabbing food out of your hands. She needs to respectfully. Nope. See that? She kind of jumped the gun, so I pulled back and I said no. Good. That time she didn't touch my hand. She waited. And so I placed it there and withdrew, and she took it off the mat. That's what you want to, that's how you want to do it every time. And then once you do that, then you can start doing things that are a little bit more difficult, like walking around both ways. It's just a basic downstay. And this is just the downstay that we would practice if we were out somewhere where we didn't have the mat. We had her down on the sidewalk or someplace like that. And then, good, reward her. And then you can start doing things like you can drop the leash since you're inside and it's secure. If she gets up, there's no place she can go. You can start maybe walking across the room, sitting down in a chair. It's usually an invitation for the dog to get up and run over to you when you sit down, but she's staying there. So every time that she does something successfully, she stays there. You walk back to her. Good, and reward her in the same way. There's a hallway there with a doorway. And I'm going to walk through there, close the door behind me, and knock on the door. Now this is difficult for her to handle, so I'm going to remind her, if you're ever going to do something that's difficult for her to handle, it's okay to remind her before you do it what you want her to keep doing. So I'm going to say, down, and I'm going to walk into the back of the house, close this door behind me, knock on the door. Good. Good. I'm going to walk past the camera into the back of the kitchen here, way into the back of the house, way back here, and then walk back. She can turn around to look at you, but she's not allowed to turn her body. So she did that well. Good. Now let's see, I'll sit on the sofa, down. This might be difficult for her. Was good. Good. Now this is really hard for most dogs to do, so I'm going to remind her, down. I'm going to leave the house, go outside, close the front door, knock on the door, come back, reward her. Good. I'll try something that's even harder for her to handle. Down. Go over here, bang on the windows, play with the male flap, and ring the doorbell. Good. Good. I'm giving her a double reward as well. Whenever she does something that's exceptional that you think she formerly would have had a problem with, and she's successful at staying in a downstay and staying calm, then you want to give her a big reward so she never forgets what she did to get that reward. And that's just an example of the things you can do when you're in the house, and an example of her powers of concentration that we've built up while she's been here. And of course at your house we're going to practice it at gateways, doorways, wherever you put this mat. You want to practice this in an area where you want her to be calm. So we'll practice at other places too. And the beauty of doing it here in the living room by a front door is most dogs get crazy at the front door and the doorbell rings or people come in through the door. So you want to practice this exercise in that area so she starts to associate this area as the calm zone as opposed to the way it normally is with them they're used to getting nuts around here when somebody knocks on the door. That's why we practice with the doorbell, with knocking on the door, so that she built up a tolerance to these distractions, and as time goes on, she doesn't react to them when they happen in real life. So the only way that she gets up out of this down stay is when you come back next to her, you pat your leg and say, okay. She'll get up, sit, and here we're gonna have her sit and we're gonna take her outside again. The usual way, have her sit, step out, step back in, okay. On the outside, sit, and now we're gonna take her for a little walk. Okay.